there are three major types of accounts that are specifically designed for retirement savings. An IRA, sometimes it's called a traditional IRA. An IRA is a traditional individual retirement account where money deposited grows tax deferred, meaning that the individual does not pay tax on the deposits, just on the withdrawals. The contributions to a traditional IRA are said to be tax deductible or made with pre-tax dollars. An individual can deposit up to $6,000 a year if a person is under 50 years old, or up to $7,000 a year if a person is 50 or older. And that usually changes every couple years, so always refer to the IRS website to see what the current amounts are. A person can start making withdrawals from an IRA at age 59 and a half years old without penalty. So this means that if I make a deposit of, say, $300 to a traditional IRA, my taxable income on this year's tax return will be lowered by $3,000. But then, say in 20 years when I start taking money out, I'm going to be charged taxes on all the amount that I take out at whatever my current tax rate is at that time. A Roth IRA, on the other hand, is an individual retirement account where the money deposit is taxed immediately, but then the individual does not pay tax on the withdrawals. The contribution is said to be made with post-tax dollars. The individual can deposit, the word up in here, to $6,000 a year if a person is under 50 years old, or $7,000 if a person is 50 years or older. Again, double check with the IRS website, see if they made it increase that or not for your current year. And a person can start making withdrawals from a Roth IRA at age 59 and a half years old without penalty. So with a Roth IRA, if I make a deposit of $3,000 into a Roth IRA this year, I will still have to pay taxes on that $3,000 on my tax return. However, 20 years from now, when I take money out of that account, I don't pay any taxes. There are also some income limits, so if you make more than a certain amount of money, you're not allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA. And again, refer to a financial advisor or the IRS website for more information. Employee-sponsored retirement plans. Many employers will set up a retirement program such as a 401k or 403b plans. With these plans, an employer will usually match an employee's contribution up to a certain percentage. In some plans, deposits are made with pre-tax dollars like a traditional IRA, while others are made with post-tax dollars like a Roth IRA. And this whole idea of these penalties at 59 and a half years old, this means that if you're under the age 59 and a half and you make a withdrawal from your retirement, you're going to pay a 10% penalty. And it's particularly worse if you've got like a traditional IRA or a employee sponsored retirement plan where the money's deposits are made with pre-tax dollars. Because not only will you pay the 10% penalty, but then you'll be taxed on the money you take out. So that's why you always want to avoid cashing out a retirement program at all possible. So let's do an example. This is on page 119. Let's suppose that between the ages 25 and 65, Leroy contributed $200 a month to a 401k plan, and his employer contributed $100 per month on his behalf. The interest rate was 9% compound monthly. What was the value of the account when Leroy is 65 years old? Alright, so we're going to treat this like an annuity problem. So we're going to write down our formula for annuity. And the key here is to remember that even though Leroy is making a contribution of $200, employers making another $100 contribution on his behalf. So his periodic payment is going to be $200 plus the the employer contribution of $100. So that'd be $300. So that's the amount that we're going to use for piece of N. And then we're going to plug these other numbers in here. For R, it's 9%, so we're going to do 0.09. And I'm going to put it down here too, because we're going to need it in a minute, down there. And here is monthly, so it's 12. And we're doing from ages 25 to 65, so T would be 40. Now you might be asking, well, how can you get a 9% return? And the key is that you'd want to be investing in like a mutual fund that has a bunch of stocks. And a good solid growth mutual fund can give you on average a 9% return from the stock market. Now, I mean, some years the stock market might tank, like it's doing in the early part of 2020. Other years it's making huge gains, but overall, for the long term, you can probably get about 9% growth from the stock market. And that's why when you're investing in the stock market or investing in mutual funds, you want to be doing it for the long term. You need to put these investments away and leave it there for at least 5 years. So to calculate this, we're now going to pull out our calculator and we're going to punch this in our calculator. Slide this off. So I'm going to do my fraction key, 300, parentheses, parentheses, 1 plus fraction key, 0.09, down arrow 12, right arrow, close the parentheses, caret key, 12, parentheses, 40, close the parentheses. And remember to hit your right arrow key. You gotta get down off that exponent. Then do your subtraction, 1, close the parentheses. Move down to the bottom. We're going to do parentheses, fraction key, 0.09, down arrow, 12, right arrow, close the parentheses. And then hit enter. So, we get $1,404,396.08. And then the second part says, what's the difference between the amount Leroy accumulated in the account and the amount he contributed? Now they're only asking for the amount he contributed. So remember, he only contributed $200. The employer matched the $100 with that. So his contribution is going to be $200. He was doing that monthly, so 12 times a year, and he was doing that for 40 years. So we're going to do that multiplication real quick. That gives us $96,000. So the difference then would be that $1,404,396.08 minus 96,000. So I'm just going to grab this number here, enter, subtract, hit my up arrow, grab the other number, enter. Now let me do that again. Sorry, my calculator is off the screen. So I'm going to hit my up arrow until that number is highlighted, hit enter, pushes it down here. I take off the 2. And then go subtract, hit my up arrow until the 96,000 is highlighted, hit enter, and then enter again. So that'd be $1,308,396.08. That's the difference. That's kind of like how much free money you got from that account.